Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Marissa. If you are new here, your favorite problematic housewife. Please subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and let's get into it. We're talking about YouTuber headlines today and a few other things. Lovemeg, and I have some thoughts about why mommy vloggers might feel targeted. Some of the strange things that I've noticed with how only moms are talked about when it comes to exploited kids when there are so many other instances of child exploitation on YouTube. And I really just want to talk about it, have a conversation, and see what you guys think also. So if you don't know who YouTuber Headlines is, she is a commentary channel with over like 20,000 subscribers now. She does mommy vlogger content, gossip, drama, tea, commentary, and she talks about all of the popular moms like Brittany and Baby, Tara Henderson, Erin Williams, and I have some issues with her content. So we're gonna get into it. We're gonna go through all of this. So YouTuber Headlines made a video talking about a bunch of different moms, and in there she had a clip from Lovemeg. So let's take a look at that real quick and I'll give you my thoughts.
Or should I post it on YouTube with the way YouTube is about kids stuff?
What does that even mean? Do you know how many kids are on YouTube?
Which doesn't make sense because there are so many kids on YouTube, but if you're a mom channel, it's like, oh no, you cannot post your kids. But
Again, I don't know what she's talking about. Do you know how many mommy vloggers, YouTube moms, whatever you want to call them, family channels, post their kids on YouTube?
I'm not sure why she's acting like Lovemeg is crazy and stupid. Yes, a lot of moms post their kids on YouTube and you give them crap for it. You give them shit for posting their kids on YouTube. So I'm not sure why YouTuber Headlines is acting like Lovemeg is being ridiculous.
Meg, hello, where do you live? Get out of your bubble and watch some YouTube. There are so many kids that make appearances on mommy vlogger channels.
if you're gonna have a kids toy channel, you can. It makes no sense. But anyway,
I think she needs to do some research on this topic, or maybe she could have Justin do it for her.
I ended up going ahead and posting it on YouTube, and I have done, I think, everything I can to hopefully not get a strike against my channel because I said that it is made for kids and everything.
She thinks she will, I can't even say this. She thinks she'll get a strike if she posts her kid on YouTube in one of her YouTube videos. I don't even know. What is she talking about? Do you know who Tiffany Beeston is? Tara Henderson, the Ace family, the LeBrant family? Have you heard of any of these people who have their kids on YouTube every week? And they don't get strikes on their channel. And they don't have a kid YouTube channel.
So you guys let me know if it even gets suggested to you or what. Like I said, this is the first time I've ever had to click that when I'm uploading a video.
A viewer sent this comment to Lovemeg. She said, I think your daughter came up with a great idea, cleaning videos by kids for kids. Lovemeg said, right, it could be a thing. It's already a thing on YouTube. There are cleaning videos by kids all over YouTube. These videos have been posted on YouTube for years and years and years.
That's interesting. YouTuber Headlines clearly knows about other channels that are cleaning channels that people post their kids, but she's so against anyone posting her kids. Why doesn't she talk about those channels? Interesting.
It's already a thing. It's like she lives in a bubble. Does she not watch YouTube? I don't understand this at all.
Okay, so first of all, the condescending and bitchy attitude really wasn't necessary. I mean, she's sitting here mocking Meg for what she said, and Lovemeg was actually right, and that's what kind of made me want to do this video. Lovemeg is absolutely right. People target the mothers who post their kids, but YouTuber Headlines, Dad Challenge Podcast, anybody who talks about child exploitation does not ever speak on kids channels such as Ryan's World, Ryan's Toys, which has millions of subscribers, and that child is on a set with a camera crew and, acting. He's actually working. He's actually working, and his parents control everything. His parents control the money. So I think what Lovemeg is talking about, now I don't know why she said strike. Maybe she thinks people are going to report her video. I think she might be a little bit mistaken. But when you do make a video that's for kids, you do have to click that. Your comments get turned off. Some people have had issues with their videos being taken down. So she's not wrong. And for YouTuber headlines to be sitting on here with the condescending, nasty attitude. Oh, why don't you have Justin do your research? Clearly, YouTuber headlines needs to do her research. Because what Lovemeg was saying is nobody cares when kids have a toy channel like Ryan's Toys or any of the channels where kids are opening toys and being the sole focus of the content on YouTube. But there's an entire community who speaks out about moms showing their kids, mommy vloggers, okay? And this is one of the reasons I really think the moms feel targeted. It's because nobody ever brings up kids channels. Why is that? Why does YouTuber headlines never talk about children on YouTube unless it's a mommy vlogger's kid? I understand that, people want to be gossip channels, commentary channels, tea channels, and a lot of people are interested in mommy vlogger gossip. But when you bring in child exploitation into the conversation, which YouTuber headlines does a lot, so many channels do. If you're going to bring child exploitation into the conversation, you cannot just target mommy vloggers. You cannot just target that community and make this huge deal anytime their kids are posted or make a video and completely ignore an entire area on YouTube of kids who are most definitely being exploited. These aren't kids who are just naturally in a vlog in the background jumping on a trampoline. Ryan's Toys is a child who is working on YouTube. He's a child actor that makes millions and millions of dollars, and his parents control all the money. I mean, Ryan was even doing a bedtime routine. There are clips of him on set with a camera crew. This kid is a child actor, and there has already been concerns with the channel is not being honest about sponsored content, and it's targeted towards kids. Ryan works a lot of hours. There has been a ton of drama and controversy surrounding Ryan's Toys and just kid channels in general. But it seems like the anti-mommy vlogger community completely ignores that, and they only focus on moms. So you can't think that it's, just outrageous that these moms feel targeted. What Lovemeg said in that clip was spot on. You cannot claim that she's exploiting her child and doing something wrong by putting her child in a cleaning video if you're not going to talk about other kids on YouTube. Now, if you want to be a gossip channel, go ahead. But in my opinion, now obviously I can't tell anybody what to do on their channel. In my opinion, child exploitation should be left out of it. You cannot mix child exploitation with tea gossip and drama. And if you do want to speak on child exploitation, you should be covering a broad range of communities and genres that children are being exploited. Because it's very odd to me that anytime a mommy vlogger puts her kids on, and these channels can say that they're not trying to save kids like Josh is. They're not doing this and that. But YouTuber headlines is on it. Anytime these moms either put their kids on YouTube, take them off YouTube, do anything, she is on it. She is right there to talk about it. She is right there to scold people and, have her condescending attitude about mothers showing their kids in YouTube videos. But she never once says anything about children and child actors on YouTube who have no protection. They are working long hours on a set with a script. So I'm really just trying to understand here what is actually going on? Like, do you just hate the moms? Do you just want to talk about gossip? Do you not really care about child exploitation? Because in my opinion, if you actually cared about the topic of child exploitation, you wouldn't be just targeting this one group of people who are showing their kids, and most of them are not even exploiting their kids, in my opinion. And I know a lot of people use the argument, well, YouTuber headlines, she's known to be a tea channel now. She doesn't pretend to save the kids like Josh. No, she might not pretend she's leading a movement like Josh, but she most definitely uses child exploitation as justification for what she talks about and is a big part of her conversation. It's a big part of it. It's a big part of everything that she does when covering the moms. Now, some people like to make the argument, well, YouTuber Headlines is a tea channel. She doesn't claim to care about exploitation. She is constantly talking about parents putting their kids on YouTube, oversharing, putting them in videos. I'm about to show you another clip where she talks about it. So it implies that everything she's doing is okay because she's talking about exploitation. But she literally ignores other forms of exploitation. So I want to show you another clip I got from YouTuber Headlines that she just very recently posted, like yesterday, about Erin Williams and her daughter and how it's so outrageous that her daughter had a mic on.
Recently, Erin showed this picture on Instagram. Erin is at the nail salon, spa, whatever you want to call it, with one of her daughters. Her daughter has a mic on. Her kids are 5 and under. She has a mic on and there's a camera crew on her. I feel like I'm looking at behind the scenes of a reality TV show being filmed. And that's a lot for kids, to be under that pressure, to be filmed, to be mic'd up. When I talk about things like this, it really has nothing to do with the child and everything to do with the parents' decision. So we're only talking about the parents here. But yes, in my opinion, it seems like Erin is definitely adding her kids back and using them as content in her videos. Now, we've seen so many YouTube moms come out and make a statement saying, I'm going to pull my kids off my vlogs. I don't want to share so much about my kids anymore. And a lot of them have started incorporating their kids back into their content. We don't get to see all of Erin's content. All we see are these short teasers on YouTube. So we're not even getting the full scope of what she's doing with her videos. There are no child labor laws when it comes to kids working on social media. So it's coming. All of this is coming, and I hope it comes sooner than later.
As you can see, YouTuber Headlines is most definitely talking about kids, exploitation, them being on the internet, on YouTube, how laws need to be put in place. That's not being a mommy tea and gossip channel. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because the argument that she only talks about mommy vloggers because she's just a mommy vlogger tea channel falls flat. Because one, she brings up exploitation all the time. And like I said previously, if you're going to talk about exploitation, you better be talking about all of it because it looks like you're targeting the moms. So no, YouTuber Headlines is not just a tea and gossip channel, or else she wouldn't be talking about what people do with their children on the internet. She would be just talking about their drama and scandals. So this was something else that I found very interesting. She's singling out and targeting Erin Williams for having a mic on her daughter. She was filming her reality show that she does on her subscription-based website now, Nick and Erin. And her daughter had a mic on. They were at a spa day. Just regular things happening, nothing crazy, nothing private or personal. So I'm really confused here as to why Oakley is focusing on this and saying that kids shouldn't have mics on and have that pressure to be filmed. What about every other kid on YouTube? What about every child actor that has a whole set and film crew? This makes no sense to me why it is so strange for Erin to do this, but there's no issues with Ryan's toys. Please, somebody explain to me that, okay? Because on one hand, if the argument is that kids can't consent, right? That's the argument that is used a lot. Your kids can't consent to have their life plastered all over YouTube, right? Well, if kids cannot consent to be filmed, no kids can consent, right? That means child actors can't consent, toy channels can't consent, any video, photo, anywhere on the internet, your child cannot consent. But I always see people making the argument that it's okay for child actors because there's laws put in place. There's protections. And you know what? Being a child actor comes with its own set of issues. And I could get into that whole thing in another video. But just because a child actor has a few laws in place that sometimes don't even protect the kids the way they need to, doesn't mean they have it so much better. And just the vlogger kids, it's always just vlogger kids is what I'm saying, you guys. The focus is solely on kids who are from family vloggers. And it makes no sense. You could also argue, well, YouTuber headlines niche is mommy vlogger gossip. Exactly. Her niche is YouTube mom tea. But she goes outside of her niche when she starts getting into child exploitation and laws to protect children and whether or not kids should be posted on YouTube. That's not her niche. That's not mom gossip. So if you're just going to talk about moms and claim that they're posting their kids online and it's bad, it looks really bad to just target them and not talk about any other form of exploitation. You can't bring up exploitation and kids being safe online and people oversharing and not talk about the other problematic channels that do that, if that makes sense. If you're going to be a tea and gossip channel, just talk about tea and gossip and stop shaming people for posting their kids. But if YouTuber headlines took exploitation out of the conversation, then she wouldn't have that as a justification for crossing the line when she does. In my opinion, she does sometimes, and I feel like her justification to drag the moms what she wants to in her passive-aggressive way, she uses that to justify it, and she uses that to make her argument valid. She will say, this mom did this, this, and this, and she overshares and exploits her children. She is 100% using that as justification. This is a short clip that I got from Daniel T. Gaming. Now, as you see, Ryan's Toys has 27 million subscribers. He has millions and millions of views. Like literally quadruple times the views as family vloggers and mommy vloggers do. And I wanted to show you guys, look at him. He's on a set. They're placing him into different positions. They are placing him. They are telling him what to do. There's a mic. There's a camera crew. This child is actually working. And in my opinion, his parents are most definitely exploiting him, making him do this for money. And I don't understand why nobody feels like it's important to talk about this. Why is it only important to drag mommy vloggers? And I'm not trying to hate on anybody. I'm really not. I'm not trying to be shady here. But this is why people like Lovemeg, Brianna K, Tara Henderson, all of the moms feel like they are specifically targeted by all of these mommy commentary channels because they know, okay, we have kids that watch this other kind of kids content. That's why Lovemeg most likely brought it up. If her kids don't watch it, a lot of people have heard of it, but that's why she brought up kids' toy channels, because she was absolutely correct in saying that if your kid has a toy channel, it's totally fine. But if a mommy vlogger puts her kid in a video, all hell breaks loose. Everybody's saying they're exploiting them. This is horrible. They're bad parents. They shouldn't be doing this. Things like that. So I want to know what people think of these toy channels, because they make it look like Ryan is in his bedroom and just playing and everything's natural, but that's not the case. There have been many videos made on Ryan's Toys and showing that he is actually on a set. He is actually scripted. He is being placed into these different positions, And there is actually a lot of problematic things that Ryan's parents do. But nobody talks about Ryan's mom or dad or anything going on. There's so many other channels like this also. So if you're going to bring child exploitation into the conversation at all, you really need to cover all of the forms of child exploitation on YouTube and not just target moms. Now, if you just want to be a mommy gossip channel, which I'm not throwing shade at that. I love watching mommy gossip, but you cannot mix that with child exploitation, in my opinion. You can't keep saying that these moms are blasting their kids on YouTube and making money off of them and using them for content to entertain people. What are these people doing with Ryan's toys? And this goes for all creators in the mommy vlogger commentary space. You know, Sincerely Sharon, Apoc, Radiant Britt, people like that, you know, YouTuber Headlines, Josh. There's a lot of channels. Also Amy Robinson. There's a ton of channels that talk about mommy vlogger content, and none of them are bad. I have no issue with them. In fact, Amy made a lot of good points in her last video. I will link it down below, and I will also link down below everybody's channel that I'm talking about. I'm just trying to get people to see why it maybe looks bad and just kind of see another side of the argument, where if your argument is to talk about child exploitation in any way, it does not look great to ignore toy channels and things like that. And a lot of the channels will say, well, you know, I'm not pretending to save the kids, I'm just gossip, but you still do use that as an argument. Like, a lot of the mommy vlogger commentators most definitely bring up that these moms overshare, that they're not protecting their kids online, that they're exploiting them. So they most definitely make that part of the conversation. Now, are they as extreme as Josh saying they're like on this save the kids movement? No, but it does feel like only mommy vloggers in the entire community are targeted when it comes to putting your kids online. And again, no shade towards any of these channels. Well, you know, except YouTuber Headlines, I'm definitely throwing shade at her in this video, and I'm not afraid to say it. You know, I'm not passive aggressive. If I have a problem with you, I'm just gonna say it. But all the other channels, I'm just kind of, you know, just giving examples. So just wanted to make that clear. The mommy vlogger commentary community really kind of push and make it seem like mom vloggers and family vloggers are just the major problem on YouTube, and they are, you know, it's like a unique problem to them that they're exploiting their children, when that's not true. And I feel like that this conversation should be had more. And I always hear the argument also that, oh, child actors, you know, they're on a set, they are being placed, they're not showing their private personal lives. Well, for one, that's not true with Ryan's toys, because he does bedtime routines and personal things like that. And child actors come with their own set of issues with being on set, especially if they're doing a traumatic scene or something like, you know, kids being kidnapped. And there are tons of child actors that have grown up to come out and say how traumatized and awful it was being a child actor. So it's not necessarily better to have a child actor on a set around all these producers and camera crew and stuff than a kid playing in their house naturally. Now, like I said, there are issues with mommy vloggers. You know, I don't think things should be too personal or overshared. But at the same time, oversharing on the internet is not a problem that is just with mommy vloggers. Everyone on the internet has, you know, there's this culture now where everybody overshares. Facebook, Instagram, whether you're making money or you're not making money, right? And, you know, people also use the argument, well, if you're not making money, it's totally fine. Well, why is it totally fine to overshare your child's medical conditions and life and all of this as long as you're not making money? Like, the arguments just don't make sense. They contradict themselves, and I feel like anytime you try to have a conversation with somebody who believes these things. They just continuously move the goalpost. They keep changing the argument to fit what you're saying. And it's very, very hard to have a conversation with somebody about this when they keep changing their argument constantly. And I do plan on doing a deeper dive and like a full comprehensive video on the channel Ryan's Toy World. Now it's just Ryan's World. But I wanted to kind of open up this conversation and see what people think about these kid channels. If you are against mommy vlogging and against child exploitation, are you okay with kid channels? Because I know Dad Challenge Podcasts actually encouraged Jess Fam to pursue her daughter singing because her daughter wants to sing. And as we know, Dad Challenge Podcast daughter has her own singing channel. And Josh has even said before that Ryan's toys and channels like that, if the kid is doing their own channel, are not a problem. He actually said that. Ryan's working. He's working long hours. He doesn't have the same protections as a child actor because he's on YouTube. And his parents are using him to make content, make him work. So I'm really curious to see what YouTuber headlines and anybody else's thoughts are on these kid toy channels and if they see them as an issue. Why is that okay? Why is it okay if a kid can't consent? They can't consent to a singing channel, a toy channel, or any kind of channel. I'm sure somebody will also make the argument, well, YouTuber headlines cannot possibly talk about every instance of child exploitation on the internet at all times. Which is true, she definitely can't, but I think it's quite obvious that she only talks about moms. As she says, and as everybody else says, mommy vloggers are her niche. So she most definitely is targeting moms when it comes to child exploitation and putting your kids online. But I don't like that she pushes this like it's a unique problem to mommy vloggers, because it's not. In fact, there are worse issues and worse cases of exploitation out there than all of the moms put together. So for her to condemn and shame and, be really condescending to the moms for supposedly exploiting their kids and putting them online, but completely ignore other people who do that, is why it seems nasty to me. Mean girl behavior, very condescending. She talks to them like they're stupid sometimes, like she did to Lovemeg. And it's really rude, and it really rubs me the wrong way. And a lot of times her arguments fall flat and don't make sense. So all in all, I feel like if you are against child exploitation and you are against family vlogging and mom vlogging, I really want to know what your actual argument is. Are you saying that kids can't consent? Are you saying that laws should be put in place? Because if kids can't consent at all, period, then why are you fighting for laws? You know what I mean? You have to just pick what argument you're going to use and stick with it. If kids can't consent, it doesn't matter what laws are made to protect them. On top of that, laws can be state to state and people will just move around. So that's not foolproof either. And people don't understand what it would actually be like to have everything they do with their children regulated. You think that you want that for these children, but you really don't, because who is going to decide? Who is going to decide all these unknowns about how much money gets put away, how many hours these kids work? Who decides that? Who decides what's too personal or what's oversharing? Because all of these things are subjective. Hopefully I haven't lost you guys by now and you guys have been following what I'm saying this whole time. I just had a lot of things on my mind to do with mommy vlogger commentary in general. I wanted to bring up the fact that everybody keeps saying laws need to be put in place for kids online. Well, okay, if laws are put in place, what does that mean for mommy vlogger commentary moving forward? Like, I really want everyone who does those type of videos to really think about that, because that is a major argument when talking about the kids. that laws need to be put in place. So are people still going to shame and condemn and, throw shade at moms who put their kids online if there are laws in place? How is that going to affect your commentary? Because it feels like even if there are laws in place, people are still going to talk about the moms. They're still going to want to talk about the gossip. It just won't have anything to do with putting laws in place, or will just mommy vlogger commentary just stop altogether? It's like, what's going to be the purpose if that gets put in place? And I just wanted to kind of bring that up to make people think, like, yeah, where am I going to go with this if there were laws put in place? Am I still going to talk about moms putting their kids online in general? And do I just want to talk about mommy vlogger drama and it really has nothing to do with the kids? And if that's the case, that's perfectly fine. But I think, like I said earlier in the video, whether there's laws, this and that, the kids and exploitation should be left out of mommy vlogger tea and gossip. And it's going to be really hard to interfere with the rights of someone's parenting and telling them what to do with their kid. Because at the end of the day, kids don't consent to anything that we have them do. It is up to the parent and their discretion and what they feel is best for their family to decide what to do with their children. I don't think we can continue to just have this conversation of, well, they showed their kid in a video, they're not doing the right thing, they're wrong, they're bad parents. Because everybody has different choices they make for their kids. Do you think people who have their kids work on a farm, they get up at 5 a.m. every day, work hours and hours for no pay to help their family business? What about kids who work in the family restaurant? Like, are they able to consent to those things? Should there be regulations put in place? Because there's not. There's no regulations put in place for kids who work on family farms or restaurants or any of the family businesses. So it's like, I feel like the conversation is not being like completed. It's just mommy vloggers putting their kids on, and that's it. There is no other discussion about all the other issues that are on YouTube, how things would actually work. No solutions. It's just laws need to be put in place, and until that happens, you're a bad parent. That's not the way it works. And just because somebody puts their child on the internet in their videos does not give people the right to comment on their parenting, pick their life apart, and all these other things that have been happening lately within the commentary community. It's just not okay. It's not okay. And please focus on all forms of child exploitation, because this is why moms feel bullied and targeted. Like I said, why wouldn't they feel bullied and targeted if you are only speaking on all these channels, right? All these channels are only speaking on family vlogger kids. It doesn't make any sense. That is not even the actual major problem on YouTube when it comes to kids being exploited, in my opinion. Kids like Ryan, who are making millions and millions of dollars, and the parents control his money and make him work hours and put him on set and place him in different areas, even if he doesn't want to film. Now, they claim if he doesn't want to film, they don't make him, but we don't know that. Just like people say, well, we don't know what the kids really want. Well, what does Ryan want? We don't know. And there's actually even been clips, which I'm going to do in the Ryan deep dive, of him like crying on camera. Like I said, he does bedtime routines. There is a ton of inappropriate things going on YouTube that has nothing to do with mommy vloggers. So this is why moms feel targeted. And in my opinion, they are being targeted. It's for one, it's very trendy right now to be talking about moms and the gossip and their drama and child exploitation. It's a huge trend. You get a lot of views. People are blowing up, and it's a huge thing. On top of that, a lot of the audience hates these mothers. A lot of the audience just hate moms, hate mommy vloggers. They hate that moms are staying home and making money, and they are using child exploitation as an excuse to drag and hate on them, which makes it even worse, in my opinion, that channels are talking about child exploitation and justifying everything they say and do about these moms because of child exploitation, but yet do not talk about anything else but the kids of vloggers. Like, I hope you guys are following me and understand where I'm coming from and why this is actually a huge problem. So please let me know what you think down below. I have another video coming tomorrow. And yeah, give this video a like, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.